Hey everybody, how's it going? Seth O'Byrne here. Boy, it's so funny the level of humility that you have to have in the world of real estate entrepreneurship and just about everything during this, these crazy times in our life. I, over the last couple hours, spilled water on my laptop and my 53 slide PowerPoint presentation was on it. It had not yet been backed up by the time I poured water on it. So I ended up finding myself this morning having, a mini mental breakdown, certainly. I mean, it wasn't like Britney Spears level mental breakdown, but if I had mascara on, it would be streaming. It was a very scary moment. And I now have my old laptop in Rice, and I am calling you from my brand new laptop. And I'm excited to dig in, guys. Today's going to be great. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter presentation, but I actually talked to everybody over at SDAR, and it appears that, doing this in more a Q&A session is a little bit better. And so, thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate that encouragement. She says, you can do it. All right. So here we go, guys. Why your clients are demanding that you care about social media. And there's a tagline to the bottom of that. Why, if you don't, it will affect your business in a major way in 2021. I am really excited to dig in. I'm just going to make sure in these Q&As that there's nothing too crazy going on. So guys, I'm going to dig in. I'm going to be showing a lot of videos. When the first video I'm going to be playing, I'd like you guys to watch it and just make sure if you can just put in the chat box that it's not buffering too bad, that it's coming over okay. There's always going to be some level of buffering issues and syncing with the audio issues, but I want to make sure it's not too difficult to understand what's going on. My name is Seth O'Byrne. I work with Compass. I've been in the real estate market my entire career here in San Diego. I started in 2003 and I was making coffees and brewing coffee in La Jolla at RE/MAX. And since then, I've gone on to sell a little over $1 billion in real estate, primarily through use of social media. Mark Zuckerberg was starting Facebook right when I was going to college. And so, our trajectories, at least at that point in time, were kind of parallel. He was creating social media and I was eager about social media from the jump. Since then, he sort of pulled off financially from me. I don't know. There's a little bit of a distance between the two of us. But he provided this incredible opportunity for us. And I remember my first ad on Facebook, and I'm pretty proud to admit this. My first ad on Facebook was actually, I believe, the first advertising a real estate agent has ever done in San Diego County on Facebook. Back then, you had to have a .edu email address in order to be on Facebook. And there was only 3 universities at that time that were even signed on, which was UCSD, SDSU, and USD, which was my school at the time, now my alma mater. And back then it was $5 a day. There was no pay-per-click campaigns. We were not sophisticated. My first ad was, I went to Google image search, which actually back then was actually kind of a new function too. And I downloaded a photo of Mr. T and I put on a text underneath it that says, I pity the fool that doesn't buy a house with Seth O'Byrne. And that ad created an inquiry from a client who her father was very wealthy and wanted to buy her a condo in Mission Beach on the boardwalk. That turned into a $3 million transaction. And over the course of the next 24 months, I sold them 3 homes over $3 million. And I very quickly realized that the social media thing was really powerful. Since then, everything has changed, obviously. I'm going to walk you through what I do and what I think works to anecdotally explain kind of the power of what this is. When I started at the beginning of this year, we had done a little over 30 million before COVID really became a major issue. Most of that real estate had closed. Some of it was in escrow, but all those transactions were spoken for, right? We had already sold the properties, whether or not escrow had closed. When COVID hit and Governor Newsom put into play the shelter in place, we were able to continue our sales. In fact, we were able to double that, and we've now crested 60 million in transactions. And what's interesting about that is over half of our business this year has been as a team, as a real estate team, made up of transactions that primarily happened when we could not go to the properties, we could not physically show the homes, we could not go on listing appointments. And even when things started, the air started clearing, there were people that wanted to buy homes without seeing them, even if we were, technically essential workers. So why I'm trying to say this to you guys is social media has always been the dessert of a marketing plan. It's always been kind of that extra add-on, whereas, door knocking, open houses, calling, getting coffee with your sphere of influence has always been the main course, right? What we've seen happen is social media has increasingly become more and more valuable. And about 3 years ago, it became, in my opinion, the massive dominant player in all business. But in residential real estate, we are uniquely positioned to use social media because what Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all these social platforms do is they seek to get behind the curtain of the business owner. When you go to Twitter, you don't want to hear what Coca-Cola has to say. You want to hear about what the CEO of Coca-Cola has to say. When you go on Instagram and you follow Chip and Joanna Gaines on HGTV, you don't want to hear about what the network HGTV has to say about home design. You want to hear about this person that you've fallen in love with by watching her TV shows, Joanna Gaines, has to say about home design. It gives you this incredible access to professionals. Now, we're very aware of the access to professionals, which is people that are, already, billionaires, multimillionaires, super successful people. But over the last decade, we've been able to prove that social media gives everyone access to the person behind the business. This content strategy is called Trojan horse content. And if you're familiar with Trojan horse, right, what this essentially is that wooden horse that was rolled into the city of Troy was a gift, but inside of it was the troops, and the troops were there to actually take the city of Troy, which they were successful in doing, which is why it's a famous story. Trojan horse content on social media, which is really the lane I live in, is we create personalized content that feels fun to watch, whether or not you're looking to buy or sell a piece of real estate, and is as much about me, the realtor, as it is about the property. And so I'm going to walk you through what this is, how it works. All right, here we go. So listen, so these are a couple of things that you might not know about social media, but these are things that most of our clients know. These are very important to understand. Number one, the average millennial is almost 40 years old and they're on their second child. Also, they're about to inherit all of their parents' wealth, primarily in real estate. So that's important, right? You think of millennials, you think of people playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater in a college dorm room. They're not that anymore, right? They're me. They're a guy with a dad bod that has a kid and a second on the way that's talking to their parents about, hey, what are you going to do with those 3 homes when you move into a nursing home? All those homes are going to be eventually going to these millennials. So millennials are not only not young, they're also no longer outside of the real estate game. They're wealthy and they're about to become more wealthy. So number 2, really important to understand, millennials are already outnumbered by the next generation, which is Generation Z. So again, important to underscore, millennials are no longer the young anymore. They're players in the real estate market. But if you spent all your time trying to figure out what's going on with the millennials, you're missing the whole boat because the next wave of buyers are not millennials. They're Generation Z, and they make up 32% of the world population. And they never, check this out, they never knew a world before smartphones and social media. So while we're sitting here trying to figure out how to get on Instagram or do a TikTok video, 32% of the buyers worldwide don't even know what that struggle is. And so it's important to understand that social media is the language of the generation that is the most dominant buyer in the marketplace. The fastest growing population on Facebook is over the age of 50, and 70% of the home buyers and sellers over, oh, sorry, one quick second. Would it be possible just to do that maybe later, just for noise? Is that cool? Thanks, brother. Sorry about that. The fastest growing population on Facebook is over the age of 50 years old, and 70% of home buyers and sellers over the age of 60 are on Facebook. So what does this mean, right? How do you unpack these 3 facts? Number 1, millennials are not young anymore. they're being passed up by Generation Z that make up, again, a third of the buyer population. Social media is the predominant language of both of these categories. And if you would even try to make a statement that the older demographic is not looking to be on Facebook or Instagram, you would be completely dead wrong. In fact, Instagram trends to be one of the most wealthy, to represent the wealthiest population of all social media, you kind of in concert with Twitter. And the final fact, there's almost 95% of all home buyers use the internet to find their home, and 50% of those buyers bought the house they found on the internet first. Okay, what does this all mean to you? Your clients know this, and it is no longer acceptable to not be on social media. These facts are so incredibly obvious. It is almost the equivalent of saying that you won't take photos for someone's home, saying that you don't know how to use Facebook. Not knowing how to use social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's not really a luxury that experienced agents can just go, I don't know how to do it. It's difficult. I don't like how I look on camera. I don't know how to use these applications on my phone. It's no longer an acceptable thing in business. And our buyers and sellers are demanding that we show up to the game. It is still a relationship business, but the venue has changed. Now, what does that mean, right? So what I always try to explain is this virtual cocktail party. And this virtual cocktail party is actually an explanation of an algorithm called social deterioration. And this virtual cocktail party that I can explain to you will show you that Mark Zuckerberg and the people at Facebook, which obviously also own Instagram, were very intelligent when they created these algorithms that determine how people interact with other accounts. This virtual cocktail party essentially says, if I was at a cocktail party and I walk over to my friend John, right? And I walk over to my friend John, I start having a conversation with John, and we start laughing about things, and we talk about something silly that happened. Maybe I had a piece of toilet paper underneath my shoe when I was walking into a listing appointment, and I was completely embarrassed. And John's laughing, I'm laughing, we have a great interaction. Well, guess what? John later down the road would probably want to have another conversation with me if he saw me at another cocktail party, or if we parted ways and then an hour later he saw me sitting in the kitchen, he would come back and go, all right, man, let's chat. Like, what other funny things do you have to say? So that algorithm essentially is mimicking real human interaction, which is if I bring him value, if I make him laugh, smile, think, he will want to interact with me again, right? Conversely, if I'm sitting here talking to John and Sally walks up and Sally goes, hey guys, would you like to hear my 3 most crazy radical political views right now? Or could I convince you on my religion here in the next 15 minutes while you're at a cocktail party? Or, which is from an algorithmic perspective, almost as bad, if I'm sitting here with John at a cocktail party, having fun, drinking our favorite drinks, being sincere and honest and silly and real, and then Sally walks up and goes, hey everybody, I'm a realtor. I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that has stainless steel appliances and hardwood floors. It's in North Claremont. I think you would like to buy it at $659,000. Have you ever been in a cocktail party when people are having genuine fun and then someone walks up and tries to sell them something right on the spot? Something like real estate that no one at a cocktail party would have the ability to buy at that moment? Absolutely, of course not. That is not normal human interaction. Even for us realtors that are the most sales forward and prospecting heavy, know that that is a massive social faux pas. So it stands to reason, if Facebook is really intending to create real human interactions and be a marketplace for genuine human interactions, why would we treat it like that? And I think that's at the core of where this disconnect between people who excel on social media and people who fail miserably on social media really comes in, is we treat social media like it's not socializing. The reality is Mark Zuckerberg has created an algorithm called social deterioration that ensures that if you give someone information that either offends them, they don't like, they scroll past, they mute you, they block you, they unfollow you, you are not only less likely to ever be seen by that account ever again, you are not likely to be seen by the accounts around that account. So as quickly as you can grow and go viral on social media, you can actually collapse the power of your account if you create content that is not in the best interest of your friends on Facebook. So I'm going to dig in through this real quick. Number one, most buyers and sellers still use a familiar realtor. They contact the realtor they can remember first. What that means is social media gives us the ability to make sure that people know that we're still in business and that we're around and that we're servicing Scripps Ranch or La Jolla or wherever we work, right? So again, that's a paradigm shift. That's a philosophical shift. We are not on Facebook to sell things. We're on Facebook to create awareness around things. And in this particular case, it'd be awareness around your real estate practice. Number two, social media is personal first, professional second, and it's essentially this happy hour, right? That's hosted by algorithms. Do you guys know the feeling when you're walking through the Fashion Valley Mall and you're really excited because maybe like me today, you're going to get a new laptop, and then someone at a kiosk grabs your arm and pulls you in and tries to get you to smell some perfume or use some weird slap it bracelet or bedazzle your earrings. Someone grabs you while you're just enjoying your day at the beautiful Fashion Valley Mall. They grab you and they try to sell you crap you don't want. That is a horrible feeling. Guess what, guys? We're doing that to our customers on Facebook every day. We're the guy in the kiosk trying to get you to smell the smelly stuff on the stick you just sprayed. That is how it comes off to our customers. Now, because we lack self-awareness, because people are private in how they respond to poor use of social media, we don't realize, we're not aware enough that we're creating those feelings. But Facebook is highly sensitive to this, and they actually make you less and less likely to be seen by that person later. We all know what annoying realtors look like on Facebook, and we all know it internally, and yet we're still so focused on the need to be out there in Facebook and Instagram and all these other social media platforms. All these rules go out the window when we're sitting at our desktop on Tuesday afternoon going, gosh, I got to get this property in Poway sold. What do I do? Oh, I know. Let's tell everyone I have a 4-bedroom house that's $659,000 for sale in Poway, and maybe I'll sell it to my 10 friends on Facebook that I play chess with. Okay, I think that makes sense. Number three, 2020 and 2021, we'll see a widening of sales between the realtors who are really on social media, the people who show up to the game to play, and those who are reluctant to use the platform. We've already seen this in many different ways, right? With the emergence of power brokers like the ones on $1 Million Listing, Ryan Serhant, Josh Altman, Frederick Uckland, the rise of Chad Carroll in Miami, the rise of Ben McCall in Beverly Hills and Bel Air, who is constantly hitting the highest sales price sales all over America, all over the world. None of these people, even those that end up on TV shows like myself, mint their success on TV. They mint their success on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. Those are where these people truly become mega power brokers. And what you are going to see is there's going to be this massive widening in 2020 and 2021. And it's important to know, and I made this slideshow before COVID hit. It's important to understand that widening is, in my opinion, is going to accelerate this year because sellers know they need someone who understands how to sell homes in a non-physical way. Number four, 2019 proved that celebrity matters and realtors for realtors and real estate brands. Fundamental to understand that. I've got another question here. Yes, I'd be more than happy to do a YouTube class. Thank you for asking. Okay, great. All right. So what doesn't work on social media? And by the way, don't worry, I'm gonna be rolling in the VHS, so to speak. In this class, we're gonna be watching some movies. So I got a couple things to share. I just want to get over some ground rules, get some basics out there, and then we can have some fun and start watching some stuff. Okay, what doesn't work on social media in 2020? Number one, your assistant sharing stories from news outlets that you didn't write. People do not need you to show them what's on CNN.money.com. They don't need you to send them something from Inman News. If they wanted to read about something that someone else wrote, they will go find it. Your highest and best use as a real estate professional is not to share other people's information. All right. Number two, a barrage of property photos and ads for your open houses. There is a statistic that is staggering, and it's something like 97% of all people who see your real estate marketing on social media are not interested in that property at all. Think about the staggering sense that that gives us, that we know that almost 100% of the people that are looking at what we're putting out there that is blatant marketing of real estate don't want to see it. It's not that they're not looking for it, it's that they physically feel ill seeing all this advertising, right? Number three, telling people that you're never too busy for their referrals on Facebook and Instagram. If you're never too busy for all that, it probably means you're not doing that much business. Also, if you're telling people that you're not too busy on Instagram and Facebook, it says a couple things all at once. One is, I don't have a budget to market myself or my properties. Two, please send me business so I can. Number four, anything you wouldn't say at a cocktail party, because you are a normal human being who understands how to talk to people without being a weirdo creep, right? So number five, sales pitches, political rants, religious talk, crappy photos, generally anything that you would also hate to see in your newsfeed. It's interesting because there's a fundamental psychological shift that happens as a content creator and a marketer that I want to invite you guys to kind of be a part of here. If you see the people on social media as your friends at a cocktail party, and you see the people who follow you on Instagram as people who get value from your content rather than potential customers, what your job is to entertain, it's to inform, it's to educate, it's to make people laugh, make them feel, make them learn something that feels personal. And so if you're able to kind of get into that zone, it fundamentally shifts the way that you create content. All right, what does work on social media? This is where it's gonna get fun. Number one, video, and also video. Number two, education, entertainment, humor, inspiration, and personal stories. Number three, your expert advice on trending topics that matter to your followers. I don't want to hear what's going on with interest rates. I want to know how you, as a Poway expert realtor, believe that the change in interest rates will affect my community in Poway. Right? Do you see that shift, right? You're taking information that's trending that people are curious to know about, and you're partnering it with your local expertise. And that's important because number one, your followers are following you because they want to know the information that you have. They want to interact with someone who's an expert. So you're giving them that. Conversely, you are showing people how relevant you are to Poway because you're sharing information that's trending on a national level and talking to people about how it relates to them at the local level. Moving on. Images that work for us. So these are three images that I pulled that have worked for me very well this year. The one on the left of your screen is me with a bunch of people up in LA. I did an event there with a bunch of the really top realtors in Los Angeles. And this was an event that I put on. And, I shared how excited I was that all these top brokers came out to see me speak and listen to me talk. It was, the caption was a ton of sense of gratitude, right? I'm so lucky to be in a position where I can meet top brokers in Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, Bel Air, and Malibu who think enough of my little story from San Diego, California, that they would ask me to come up and speak to them as an expert. Never did I think in my 20 years of selling real estate, I'd be in a room with people I respect so much and be asked to have my voice be something that makes an impact on them. I mean, wow, right? So that's great. So that works because it's sharing my connection with human beings. We're all smiling, which is a great way to show your humanity. And then I'm sharing some sense of gratitude, which always looks good for a business owner. The middle one, don't look back. You're not going that way, right? These are inspirational memes and Facebook and Instagram are rife with them. They are great for many reasons. One, it is always of value to share a quote. Like the reality is there are accounts that get a little crazy about this. But if every couple of weeks or even once a week, you find a meme that says something to you, that speaks to you, sharing a quote that means something to you does two things at once. One, someone who's following you is never going to be unhappy looking at a quote that inspires them or gives them a feeling, right? This is telling you, stop looking back, stop being regretful of things that you did wrong. You're going forward, right? It's a message of hope. It's a great little life lesson. These are the things that as we're going between the grocery store and our home, or, pretending that we're working at the office and actually looking at our phones, we can see something that enriches someone. Also, it's important because it exposes something about how you think as a professional. This tells the person following you that you believe these things. And it also tells them that you're connected with the philosophy around life. And that's a great thing. It makes you look like you're connected to things that are a little bit more deeper than selling homes. And it gives them something of value, right? And then this is something personal. I taught my son how to swim last year. And, this is a photo of me just hanging out with my adorable little son in a swimming pool. And I shared about how crazy it is and exciting it is to, be a parent. And are you doing these posts on social media or on the business social media? Okay, so I know I kind of talked about that a little bit at the head of this, but a question was posed, and I want to answer this immediately. There is no value, sincerely, to spending a lot of time on your Facebook fan page. No one, when was the last time you went to Coca-Cola's fan page, right? You don't go to Coca-Cola's fan page. You want to know about the CEO of Coca-Cola, right? This, brands' fan pages are great places to put sales. That's where you put your homes for sale. That's where you put, videos you did that you don't think are appropriate to show on your personal Facebook because it's just way too commercial. The About Me realtor videos, which are very painful to watch, which I am still trying to understand why we're still doing them if we all don't like watching them. But those sorts of videos, they can live there, right? Your community showcase videos, which are of incredible value to the consumer, where you're giving them information about communities in San Diego, that can certainly live there. But all of this stuff that you're looking at right now, from me up in LA talking to other professionals, from me sharing a personal quote that matters to me sharing a photo with me and my adorable son. I just love looking at that photo. Those are all super, super appropriate for personal. And to make sure we understand, I use that term Trojan horse at the very beginning of this meeting to make sure that I share with you that the Trojan horse, the wooden horse itself, is personal content. The soldiers inside that do the real work are the professional content trapped inside, right? So by sharing this great reflection of me with a bunch of professional realtors and sharing a personal story about how lucky I feel to be in this position, I am sharing something personal. That's how I personally, emotionally feel. I'm not selling anything in this photo. But what I'm really trying to do is say something a little bit more subtle, but a lot more powerful, which is, I'm a good enough realtor that a lot of people who sell a lot of real estate ask me to come all the way to LA and teach them. Holy moly, that means a lot, right? If you're teaching the people who are the bosses, you must be a super boss, right? So there's a real commercial interest in why I'm sharing this with my sphere of influence. But that is being shrouded. That's being hidden in the personal message of me just being happy to be up in LA, right? Does that make sense to everybody? I just want to make sure we're all kind of on the same page. Yeah. So I don't personally love personal or professional pages. Again, a really great way to, gauge, to use a barometer to understand whether or not you're doing it right or doing it wrong is ask yourself, do you spend a lot of time looking at people's business pages? The answer is probably 100% no. There's probably no one on this call. I don't care how much free time you've had during COVID. You probably didn't spend it going on all these companies' fan pages. But you did spend a lot of time looking at other professionals, whether it's designers or contractors or stagers or real estate agents or mortgage professionals, personal Facebook pages and Instagram pages. The land of the fan page it's a barren desert of tombstones. All these accounts have faded out quite a bit. Now you do need a fan page to run ads, right? If you're going to spend money to promote, you have to have a fan page. If you go on a listing appointment, you have to be aware that that seller is probably going to be looking at your Facebook fan page, or at least Googling your name, and all your stuff will pop up. And you'll want them to see that you have a Yelp page, an Instagram page, a LinkedIn page, a Facebook fan page. But if you think about all the time that you're spending, I would highly encourage you guys and Jason, by the way, a fan page is a business page on Facebook. So your personal page that has your name is your personal page. Your fan page would be, for example, for me, my name is Seth O'Byrne. My team is called the O'Byrne team. My O'Byrne team is a fan page. It's a strictly professional page. My personal page is just my name, right? That's where you see that, who I am, how old I am, what school I went to, who I'm married to, all those sorts of things. So yes, these are images that work for us. Moving on, videos that work for us. And this is the first one, and please be on the ready, guys. If I just want to make sure the audio comes through okay. There's a brand new computer, and I know this is I just want to make sure that the audio is syncing okay. So, and let me know if it's buffering. All right, guys, I'm hearing a little bit. There's no audio. Is that correct? Okay, let me back up really quick. How about now? Craftsman architecture is unmistakable. You've got the low pitch roofs, the large covered patios. The style is anything but ornamented. It is simple and it is structural. And that's the reason why Craftsman architecture, which came out 150 years ago, is still today one of the most popular ways to design a home. All right. Okay, cool. Did you guys hear that okay? All right. I think you did. All right. So great stuff, guys. I'm excited that you heard that a little bit better. All right. Awesome. So I'm gonna, sorry, I apologize, guys. I swear I know how to use things. I promise. Okay, great, guys. Okay, so what is this? All right. So videos that work for us. And I promise the videos after this can be a whole lot less glitchy here. So the videos that work for us, this is a property that I have that I sold last year on Fort Stockton. And we did a 30-second video. I do a lot of work with American Dream here locally, and which is a local TV show. It airs on Fox and CW. And, I've been on the show for a super long time. And one of the things I honed being on the show, a lot of the agents that are on this show are on the show because they want to hone this, is the ability to speak on camera and be comfortable doing it. Now, the first time I went on camera, I was really nervous. I was super awkward. I deleted the video. The second time I was in camera, I started drinking. By the time the camera turned on, I was so nervous. The third time I was on camera, I was a little bit better and completely sober. And, over the span of time that I've been on video, I just didn't give up, right? But one of the things that's interesting that I want to make sure I underscore in all the videos I do is I have made a shift in the last 5 years where I am in a lot of my content. Now, I think it's important to make sure that we're on the same page, that I understand why people don't want to be in the content, right? That makes complete sense to me. But why I want to be in the content is we are in a marketplace where we are competing with discount brokerages, with Redfin, with Zillow, with people that try to circumvent real estate agents. And these big companies, they have great websites, great IDX, huge ad spend to get to the consumer before us. But what is the one thing that we have that those big companies don't have? Us, right? We have us. And I think it's important to understand that if we create ourselves on video as spokespeople of our properties, it's really amazing to see how far we can take this. I'm going to exit out of this and I'm going to show you a full version of what this looks like. I'm going to try to see. Okay. And show. Okay, great. And on this one as well, I would love to see your comments. If you guys can't hear me, please let me know. Here is an example of a video I recently did. And again, if you guys can just jump in and comment immediately, I just want to make sure the audio is okay. If it's a little out of sync, it's not too much of a deal. This is a property we're putting on the market, and we shot the video. We shot it a little bit early because we wanted the campaign to come out immediately, but I'm going to share it with you guys as well. Growing up in my hometown, window shopping was practically a sport. Now, I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so that's probably part of the reason, but I grew to love these giant open windows that showed something to the street. This property right here we're about to look at, well, it's not a retail shop, it's a house. And this front window is unbelievably unexpected, but it's not the only secret this property has. This giant 1-inch piece of glass that goes from the ceiling all the way to the floor, from supporting beam on the west side to supporting beam all the way on the other side. This property is going to expand how you think about residential living. Check it out. Calling on one of the most timeless concepts in architecture, you open into this beautiful foyer, then you restrict the focal access, right? You've got these tight little hallways, but this prepares you for the big payoff, and that is the living room. And so this is the big payoff, because as you walk into the space, you kind of figured that maybe you're in a smaller house. It feels a little constrained. But as you walk into this kitchen, you get that feeling you get when you have the high lacquer white cabinets go all the way up, and the stainless steel and the white countertops. This is what makes a space like this feel so good to the eye. The cabinets exist. They serve a function, but they take up no visual space because they just blend in. And that's really what's so great about design, is you can make a statement, or you can have the function fade into the architecture and design itself. So here we find ourselves in this fun little living room. It's whimsical, it's comical, it's fun, it's approachable. See, that's the beauty of modern architecture, is you can take it any way you want. But modern architecture also has another thing, but a lot more significant than whimsy, and that is drama. This La Cantina door that's 20 feet from side to side is the largest one on the market. It's the biggest one that they build. But you never see it because no builder has been risky enough to make this the entire back half of their house. What I love about it too is, like any La Cantina, these doors open in seconds. You can feel that breeze coming off the Pacific Ocean. So here we are in the backyard. But what's cool about this, they didn't just think about the volume adding to the experience of the inside of the home, where space was almost ubiquitous. They thought about the linear square footage in this backyard, so they made sense of every single space. Because let's face it, we're in Mission Hills. These are all 5,000 square foot lots, which for a big experience, this is not a lot of square footage. But you still got enough space. He put out the barbecue. He put this little cozy little hot tub. You've got this outdoor space. This casita didn't need to have a second floor. It didn't need to have an ironclad ladder. But this builder has no reservations. This builder has no limits. This builder has no beer. But what I want to take you to next is the master bedroom. Because if you buy this house, this is where you're going to spend most of your time. So this is the master bedroom. This is where I end all of my tours. I realize when I say that, that's a little bit creepy, but what I mean is this. This is the room that matters if you buy this house. You set your beautiful head on one of these 6 pillows and you dream about what your life is going to be like. This is the room that knows all your aspirations. This is the room that you just feel in. So, I guess we feel. Cool. All right, guys, just making sure that sounded okay to y'all. I think the audio was good. Nice. All right. Thanks for the love, everybody. Okay, cool. Love it. All right, great. So, all right, so I'm gonna keep rolling here. I'm gonna get into two more things. Then I'm gonna show you a video series that I just launched that I think is very COVID friendly. I think it's probably a valuable, play from current slide. It's kind of a valuable thing. I'm gonna skip through this because I'm gonna talk to you about something else. Evidence of success works really well for us, right? So this is a photo I took with a basic iPhone. Me and my partner, Caitlin, who we just brought on. She's our partner, our showing assistant. She does a ton of work for our team. She's a wonderful human being. And Caitlin Phil came on recently. And, I shared this photo on social media. I got incredible mileage out of it. Here was the ad copy. Sold. Caitlin and I sold, right? Yay. Caitlin and I met at a coffee shop so close to my house that I didn't have to drive, but far enough from hers that she had to leave home early. This was the start of our relationship in business, and it underscored that Caitlin Phil was never above putting in the effort. She was never unwilling to go the extra mile. We hired Caitlin on the O'Byrne team just 12 hours after our first meeting, and over the past months, I wish I could do it all over just so that I could hire her again. Caitlin has become invaluable to our clients and irreplaceable to our company. And this past week, we closed escrow together on this quaint little house just east of downtown San Diego. And it was my first opportunity to work side by side with her. She's bright and funny and works like someone who takes their every effort as personally as I do. And this week, I'm feeling fortunate to have her on this team. Great work, Caitlin. 2020 has just begun. Now, why was this successful and why does it matter and why does it qualify as Trojan horse content? It was successful because I did a couple things at once. One, it's a decent photo, right? It's like we're really well lit. The sun was behind the person taking the photo. By the way, this was just our property inspector that took the photo. We just put it on portrait mode and he just took the photo with our iPhones. Stood in the doorway, had the light on us, we both dressed up for the appointment. So, we looked okay. It was a cool doorway photo. It was effective for a lot of different reasons. One, cool looking photos are great. They show you're professional. They show you're out there and you're working. Two, I got right to the point, sold, right? So people know, even if they're not going to commit to read the whole thing, they said, yeah, those guys look pretty good. And they're selling real estate, right? So like, for the ADD person or the person just checking their phone for a second before they go to the bathroom, that person still gets something out of it, right? Sorry, I'm just getting into these. Where was this used? Treasure. What is treasure? Okay, I love it. So I post this on Instagram, I post this on Facebook, and then oftentimes my best content that performs the best, I get the most likes and comments. I'll put that in our email newsletter, which we send out every 3 weeks. And so this did really well and it ended up in our email newsletter. And so if you had a short attention span, I got right to it. You had a cool photo of two people smiling right at you and boy, they sold a house, right? And then I went into something that was really important and nuanced. And this is what I call shining your spotlight or shining your flashlight on someone else. Everyone is intimately aware that you can only post so much in a week or so much in a day. You have essentially a little piggy bank on social media. So if you were to take that piggy bank and not spend it on self-promotion, but spend it on promoting someone else, that is a very conspicuous act of selflessness, right? This is sort of like a very small version of like a rich person getting a wing in a hospital for like I got like the cardiovascular center at UCSD. Aren't I so, I'm so great. I even put my name on the side of it, right? So like you're doing good, but it's very obvious what you're doing. And it works because you're doing something somewhat selfless. You're sharing love. You're sharing how you treat other people, right? When you talk positively about other people, you're sharing with people little bits of information. You're bearing your heart that you care about people, that you value people, that I respect the amount of work that she put in, that I have a wonderful relationship I've been able to forge. Because one of the things that's important to underscore is no one knows who we really are on social media. And posts like this, where you talk positively about someone else, and you don't really have anything obvious to gain from it, it shows your character. And so that is of incredible value. Also, we get, deep, into it. We talk a little bit about our story. It tells you a little bit about us and our history together. And that's of great value as well. Okay, engaging followers with passionate topics. Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, great. So here's 3 posts. One, my adorable son, 479 views, 123, interactions, 22 comments. We ended up being a little over 1,000 views and 70 comments at the very end of it. I think something like 300 likes. And, guys, people are on at least Facebook. People are on Facebook because they want to see you personally. So the way to scale your business professionally, ironically, is to be very personal on social media. As long as you're appropriate, and as long as you think through what you're putting out there, this shows that I'm a father. This shows that I'm a doting father. This shows that I have a heart and I care and I love this kid. This also happened to be at the Fairmont during Christmas, which shows a couple other things. One, I've got enough money to go hang out at the Fairmont for Christmas, which means I probably sell some real estate. And number 2, I appreciate family, which many home buyers and home sellers are families. And so that's a value, right? Then here's another one, right? 63 comments. What I do oftentimes when I'm creating content, either for the American Dream TV show, and I don't know if anybody on this call is on the American Dream, but I know there's a lot of people here locally that are, or if I'm creating my own video content with my team, I sometimes ask my social media followers to tell me what they think. I got 63 comments when I said, what's the best free spot in San Diego to enjoy? I'm doing a piece for TV tomorrow focused on that question. Any good suggestions? I got 63 comments. At the end of it, I had almost 200 comments and 12 shares. Massively viral, just by asking people their opinion. And then finally, to the right, that's another inspirational meme: less attitude, more gratitude. I got 6,125 people that saw that. When was the last time you went to an open house and you had 6,000 people show up, right? Like, it's just so amazing. All right, so this is my final slide. I'm going to close out really quick of this, and I'm going to show you something I'm working on. I'm going to just make sure I answer any questions that you guys have. Please feel free to fill this up with any other thoughts and feelings, emotions, questions. I have launched something new, and I'm totally happy if you guys copy me, but maybe not copy me verbatim. I have launched a new series called Toddler Talks. Toddler Talks was based on an idea I've been thinking about for quite a while, which is, sorry, I'm just making sure these questions, I got all the questions answered here. Toddler Talks was based on the idea that people want to know about celebrity real estate gossip. And I think it would be a great way to engage with people, either in those weeks I don't have new listings, or engage with people on a different level about things that are relevant to them. They want to know what famous people and rich people and interesting people are buying and selling. But I didn't want to look like a gossip queen. So what I decided was I could marry 2 things. I actually ended up marrying 3 things, which is number 1, celebrity real estate gossip, which is great and it's viral and people want to know about it. 2, my son, my 2-year-old son, is my co-host, and that softens it because it makes it me less of a gossip queen. It makes it more a funny and cute show. It also allows me to show me as a parent, me as a human, me as someone who gets our clients. And then 3, this is all shot in my backyard. This is the putt-putt course in my backyard in Solana Beach. And so this also shows people, that we're doing the best we can during shelter in place, right? John Krasinski of The Office launched Some Good News and sold it for zillions of dollars, I believe, to NBC recently. People are looking for good news. And this was my own version of it, which I launched at the same time as John Krasinski was launching Some Good News. Now, John did quite a bit better than I did. I haven't sold this, But we've gotten collectively a little over 180,000 views of this across all of our platforms. So this is still very good. We've now shot 7. We've released 4. These take us about 25 minutes per episode to shoot. But look at this, guys. This is about real estate. It's fun, it's cute, and it's a great way to engage. Okay, here. Okay, sit right there. Sit right there. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to Toddler Talk with, of course, Seth O'Byrne and me, his dad, Seth. We are the only real estate gossip show co-hosted by a friendly neighborhood real estate agent and a co-host who's in potty training. Lake, can you say Drake?
Drake.
God's plan. God's plan.
Aubrey Drake Graham was originally from Toronto, and so, of course, if he was going to build his biggest, baddest, craziest house, it was going to be, of course, back home in Canada. And Drake's Manor, which is 50,000 square feet and has amenities like an NBA regulation-sized indoor basketball court, 21 square foot skylight, and is a perfect... This TV show is becoming much more difficult than I realized. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. To all you parents out there, more serious note, I get you. Drake said that because he was building it in his hometown, he wanted the structure to stand firm for a century. And what you see is you have this historical style with ultra contemporary flair. You're gonna see gold, you're gonna see mirrors, you're gonna see all these incredible patterns. Hip-hop superstars have always been known to have properties that are over the top. But what's incredible about this property is Drake has such class. Hey, Lakey, when Hotline Bling comes on,
And I know when that hotline bling.
you grab your bottle, you get funky, and everybody starts dancing. It makes sense that this guy's almost a billionaire. This is one of the most stunning properties I've ever seen, and no wonder that Architectural Digest did a piece on it, because though he is a hip-hop superstar, he is also a man of great fashion, and this property absolutely shows that. You're doing good. All right, everybody, signing off. Thank you so much for watching Toddler Talks with, of course, Seth O'Byrne and me, his father. Lake, anything else to say to the nice people at home? Okay.
Hard to talk.
All right, there you go, guys. That's it. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna stop screen share. All right, guys. So I'm gonna dig into these questions, see if you have any other chats. Seth, you set a very high bar. That is very sweet. I do want to make sure everyone knows and is super aware, like, you know, this has been a long process for me. I've been really committed to content creation for a long time. Certainly in the last 5 years, I've taken it really, really seriously. Yeah, me feel the breeze when you open the doors. Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, you know, it's important, you know, when we started filming for HGTV 3 years ago, and, you know, we were starting to understand kind of behind the scenes what it takes to make content that people really enjoy about real estate. There's something to be said about it. You know, if you're holding up your water glass and you're like, this is water, that's one thing, right? But you can be like, you know, this glass, it's smooth, you can kind of see through it, it's round at the top. Like this sort of see something, say something physical, you're kind of living in the space. It creates a great way for someone to experience real estate. Real estate is a very tactile thing, right? You can touch the smooth walls, you can feel the cold, you know, granite countertops. So as you explore the spaces, you know, I would encourage everyone to walk through your homes. And if you talk about the wall, touch the drywall behind you and run your hands on it. If you talk about this, you know, little vase, you know, you hold it up and you kind of look at it for a little bit. You know, there's something about video that gives someone the ability to almost imagine like they're there. And so in my humble opinion, one of the best things you can really do if you're going to be doing a video walkthrough, or if you're going to be doing a Zoom call open house, is explore the space. Open up the cabinets while you're on video, right? Touch the countertops, you know, get into the spaces. you know, everyone's always, I'm sorry about that. So everyone is always really surprised to hear that I don't have a script, but I never have a script when I do what I do. And the reason I never have a script is because, you know, I want it to feel very authentic, and literally everything I'm saying there, I just said, I don't have a script for what I do when I do my walkthroughs. So let's see, any other thoughts, feelings, emotions? If you guys have any other questions, I know we only have a couple more minutes, but I would love to answer any questions that help any of you. Boy, these are so many comments. I really appreciate it. We don't have toddlers. You think 2 extra dogs can work? Guys, dogs kill it. Dogs absolutely kill it. I think it is great. How did you get so fluid? English is my second language. Hey, I get it, guys. It's this whole thing is tough. I'm going to see if I can do this with our remaining time we have, because if I can get this, dogs, diamonds, if I can find this, I might create something of value to you. If I can't, it's okay. Pacific Highway. I have a very cool video that is very, very fun. And I think it might be a little bit too up. This might be it. This is it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna see if I can, sorry, one second. I'm gonna see if I can find this here or download this here. If I can, it might be really fun for you guys, because what I'd like to show you, yeah, it's gonna download immediately. What I'd like to show you, I'm gonna go back to screen share really quick. What I'd like to show you really quick is, this is a dog, right? So it's important to understand that the cuteness, the funness can be done very easily. I created this video you're about to watch for $500. And the idea was, we thought this property was so cool. We thought it would be fit for Audrey Hepburn, right? We thought it was Breakfast at Tiffany's. So my business partner, Mia, dressed up like Audrey Hepburn, and she used my 5-pound Pomeranian. And we did a video about what would it be like to be this super classy woman living in this amazing home in the grand downtown, and her amazing life with her cute little dog. And we thought it'd be a funny way to create a promotion for a property. Again, it was $500. It didn't break the bank. And this was the result. So there you go. Pretty fun, right, guys? You know, that was a dog. It was $500 in a camera. So anyways, so Jocelyn, you know, you can do a lot with your dogs. People love dogs. They love toddlers. They have lots of that stuff. And, you know, on a more personal note, and I know I'm done here with my hour, so I'll answer any questions you guys have. I can stay on if you guys want. I can also jump off. No problem here. But I just want to say that, you know, it's a crazy time. And I think it is a time for us in the real estate industry to be leaders for all people. And I think that it doesn't always have to be a political thing. I think it's important to underscore that, you know, we're here to protect our communities, to promote our communities, to help people who haven't experienced communities come to our communities, be new neighbors. And I think above all else right now, it's really great if you don't know what to say in the middle of a COVID crisis, in the middle of this massive, very important civil rights movement in America. You can always just make people laugh. You can make them smile. You can make them feel good. And I don't care what your politics are. You know, you probably like laughing. Well, almost everybody likes to smile. They like to laugh. And there is enough heavy stuff out there in the world. And there's great economic value to making people laugh because they feel so good about how you made them feel. And that has real value next time they're thinking about buying or selling something. And my career is a big part of it. When I started committing to content, my average sales were around 10 million a year. We sell over 100 million a year now. We're on track to bust through 100 million this year. And we're doing it through just getting messages out there to make people feel good, make them excited about homes. And each day I try to get more and more comfortable on camera and make people feel more comfortable watching it. So I hope this was of value. Stacy, any tips on speaking on video for beginners? 100%. Just remember that everything that you shoot can be deleted immediately. And also be aware of our bodies are chemical, right? How much caffeine we have, how much carbohydrates we have, whether or not we exercise and got our endorphins going, whether or not we're tired, if we have to go pee when we're filming, all of these things affect how we are on camera. And so I think, remember, first take care of this, right? Like go into it with the right mindset. Don't eat too many carbs. Don't drink too much coffee because it'll make you anxious and nervous. Alcohol lowers the worry kind of thing, but I'd be cautious. And I joke about the alcohol thing, but when you're really making great content, you probably shouldn't be drinking. But whatever it does, whatever it takes to get you to calm down, that'll be helpful. And then the other thing is, right now you might feel like I'm talking to you, but I want to make sure everyone knows I'm looking at a green dot on my laptop with a ring light behind me shining on my face so that my wrinkles and sunspots from being at the beach too much aren't as visible. This whole thing is weirdly manufactured. So I think just having a good heart about it and realizing this whole thing is silly, and just doing the best you can and not taking yourself too seriously is great. Also really important, guys, I know you guys saw this, but this developer has no reservations. They also have no beer. I always end in the bedroom. Gosh, I just realized that sounds creepy. But what I really mean is this is the room that the home buyer lives in. Those sorts of things, not everyone's going to feel comfortable being a little off color like that. And I think you need to find what feels normal to you. But I do think being sincere and being silly sometimes can be really appreciated by someone watching your video. Being stiff and perfect and, I am a realtor and, telling everybody all the perfect little facts, that's dreadfully boring. So if you can find a way to speak authentically, I think that will be very much valued by the viewers. I'm just going to see if there's any other questions. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Barbara, for saying I'm the bomb. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, this is great. I do have an internal team. I have a full-time videographer and a full-time editor on our team now. That was part of our move over to Compass as they helped fund us. We now have our own content. We're going to be launching our own show on Amazon very soon here called Home Slice. We're really excited about it. And I absolutely love talking to you guys. I want to just personally thank everyone who's been on the call today. I want you to know that I'm not wearing pants right now, as is the way on Zoom. I'm not naked. I'm just wearing shorts. I hope you guys are also comfy at home. And as we go out into the marketplace, I guess if there's anything I can say, I hope we go out with a whole lot more compassion for everybody. We've all been through a lot as a city and as a world, as a country. And I think having fun on social media, being sweet, and then taking that sweetness and that love out into the marketplace, it's not only good business. I think it's just the right thing to do right now. So much love. Thank you for taking an hour of your day with me. I hope I brought you value. And if you have any questions, you can always send me an email or, please follow me on Instagram. I'd respond to direct messages immediately. I hope you're having a great day. And I hope to see you around soon.
There's no place like home. Hi, I'm Julie Kern
I'm Dathan Kern.
with Kern Key Services. Today we're here to explain how our gift certificate program works, a closing gift for your clients.
The most important thing about this gift certificate is the value that it brings your client, knowing that nobody else has keys to their home.
So first we'll need to set up your account. Once your account is set up, we can provide you with the gift certificate forms that you fill out and give to your clients.
Our gift certificate is our Kern Key Bundle. You may ask, what is the Kern Key Bundle? It's up to 6 locks rekeyed, 4 copies of keys, and our service call, all included for one price.
Your client will call and make an appointment at a time that's convenient for them.
This is Ashley with Kern Key Services. How can I help you?
When we go to rekey their new home, your client should provide the original gift certificate to our technician at the time of service. This will act as their payment for our Kern Key Bundle, and our billing department will know to charge your card only then. So let's get you signed up for the program.
Stay safe, San Diego.